Hello everybody, MaxMonty1516 here, back again with a brand new episode of Custom Spotlight. And for once, it actually did not take 10 months to do this, but we're back with something brand new to show off. And if you saw this on Twitter, you saw this coming. But yeah, here is Little Giant. So I'm really happy to show off Little Giant. And for those who don't know, basically a couple of years ago, this character concept was revealed. And from what I understand, Little Giant was supposed to be created for season 6, and then they ended up scrapping the idea because they did not like the idea of a character with two faces. So this character was just ended up on the cutting room floor basically. And then the weirdest thing is that a few years later we got Mighty Mac anyway, so I don't really know why they decided to scrap it back then and then go back to it just for a few more seasons later. But yeah, it's really interesting that Little Giant was just kind of left and abandoned, and then of course replaced with Mighty Mac. So yeah, when this character concept was revealed, a lot of people made customs out of Mighty Macs, and I have always planned to do this, and I never just got around to it. I just didn't really want to buy a second Mighty Mac, because I mean, they're not really the most expensive, they're not the cheapest character out there, I mean. So I ended up putting it off until I recently got one, and finally the custom work began. And honestly, it was a pretty simple process. There wasn't a whole lot to actually do aside from repaint everything. So again, just took quite a few coats of spray paint on this. I used Tamiya TS34, the camel yellow, and I think that's a perfect color for Little Giant based off the concept art there. And of course, he's got some red lining going around the side tanks, as well as this black lining, thinner black lining, going in around the cab doors and everything. Plus these little gold emblems that were there on the concept art. I'm not really sure what they're for. They are there. And then the wheels are done up in yellow with red trim and then kind of a black center there. I think that looks nice. And of course I even repainted the pistons and everything just like that. I mean, I took the whole thing apart and painted all the pieces separately. But by far the most challenging part of this was actually resculpting the faces. And as you can see here, there is a clear difference from my Little Giant versus the Mighty face that was used originally. So I'll give a comparison there. The smile is more of a smirk, basically. I kind of made it smaller, and also the eyebrows are completely different, and this little curl thing on the top of Mighty's head is now gone. I sanded that off completely, and I think that face looks really good. Then we come around here to the sad face, and the other face, of course, on Little Giant is depicted as sad in the concept art. So I used that from Mac's face. And unfortunately, the paint is a little bit darker, just because I did these at separate times, and I could not for the life of me get the paint completely matched. It is a very close match, though. It's pretty much the same shade, or I guess one shade off. So it's not too noticeable, but I thought I'd mention it since you probably can see it. But yeah, the other face there, just again done like that, and I used modeling clay and just kind of poked around and basically just kind of did what I can to change the face around. And I think they honestly look pretty close to what actually we see in the concept art. So I'm very happy with that. But yeah, Little Giant here, again, I just really love how this turned out. And yeah, there's a better look at him from the side, as you can see. So again, the lining on the sides there. And of course, there's also some stripes on the top, as well as the tanks here that have been painted yellow right there. And yeah, he's got some cab windows like that. And of course, they're on both sides. But yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, honestly, it was a simple but long process to paint all of this, because yellow is not a very potent color, and it took a lot of coats to completely cover up that really dark, kind of bluish purple. That took a lot to do. That took a lot of time. I think it was 6 or 7 coats, finally, to do this. But yeah, that's Little Giant, and I'm super happy with how this thing turned out. And of course, I didn't really change anything about him building, so of course he can still turn around. Just like that, and I put the sad face at the front, or put the happy face at the front. So yeah, not really sure what I'll do with these guys in terms of my series. I'd like to introduce them, but I really want to figure out how to characterize them and use them in stories first, just before I actually kind of introduce them, just so I can have everything kind of sorted out. But yeah, I think Little Giant is awesome. I'm really, really proud of this custom, and I think it turned out great. So again, this got some fantastic feedback on Twitter. Was really happy to see how that performed. And yeah, thank you all for the support, and I really appreciate it. So again, there's Little Giant. Hope you guys like that, and I will see you all very soon. MaxMonty1516 signing out.